A warm welcome to today's video explaining moral anti-realism for philosophy A-level. Now in this video I will break down the three theories that the A-level exam board, the AQA exam board, expect you to know. And in the following video I will address the criticisms of those theories. Now the first theory that we need to know is error theory, Mackie's position. And Mackie makes two claims. The first claim is an ontological claim. So a claim about being, a claim about the way the world is. And he argues that there are no objective moral values. So there is nothing mind independent in the world itself that is morality. There's no moral property anywhere in the world. And he gets to this position from two arguments that we looked at in my previous video, but I will go back over those briefly now. So the first argument is the argument from relativity, and the second is from queerness. So Mackie argues that variation in moral judgments are irresolvable. In the same way that when I say my favourite flavour of ice cream is strawberry and yours may be chocolate, there is nothing I can say, no fact that I can give you that will change your mind, because it's a matter of taste, of preference. In the same way that our differences in morality, our moral judgments may differ, and there is nothing I can say, no fact that I can give you that will change your mind. Ethical disagreement then is more like personal taste than a science, where I can give you facts and we can both appeal to a standard that's mind independent. So morality then is anti-realist, not realist. The second argument is from queerness. Now, the idea here is that moral values are nothing like anything else in the world. Even if morality was realist, all other things in the world, when we look at the world, when we use science, we are describing the world. We're using is statements. H2O is water. Boiling point of water is a certain temperature. You get the idea. And so when we make moral statements that supposedly are in the world, we don't use is statements, we use ought statements. So there's this clear difference here. So they're weird, they're not like any other type of claim. And there's also no way, and this is using Hume's reasoning here, there's no way a priori or a posteriori to discover mind-independent moral properties. And this means that morality is to be understood as being anti-realist. And so the ontological claim that Mackie makes, let me just find where we are, is that there is no mind-independent morality. But his second claim is a linguistic claim. It's a claim that our language is set up in such a way that when we make moral claims, statements, judgments, we are using cognitivist language. So when I say murder is wrong, that seems like the type of statement that can be proved true or false, because my mistaken intuition is that morality is the type of thing which could be proved true or false. Now, because of Mackie's ontological claim, we know that that isn't the case. And so there's an error here. The error is mistaking using our mind-independent language to describe something that isn't mind-independent. We use objective language to describe something that is not objective, something that is, in fact, subjective. And so error theory can be described as simply three working parts. One, there are no moral property or properties in the world. The second claim is that moral language tries to describe moral properties in the world. And three, moral judgments cannot be true. They're not the type of thing which can be true. And so Mackie's error theory is a cognitivist theory, but of course the error is that morality is in fact anti-realist. We will move on to emotivism, Ayer's position. Now, Ayer argues that moral statements are simply expressions of emotion. And so, emotivism, it is what it says on the tin. This means that moral claims, murder is wrong, are not truth apt, because truth requires something else in the world to refer to a standard, right? Something to prove. And so to say that murder is wrong is as if we are saying boo murder. To say that charity is good is saying hooray murder. And so we can call emotivism, we can remember that as being the boo hooray theory. And this is even more simple than saying I don't like murder. It's not saying that, because the fact of me liking murder, I can either like murder, so it can be true, or I can not like murder, which is false. So it's not saying that. What it's saying is, when I say murder is wrong, that is in and of itself the expression of my emotion. In the same way that saying ouch when I stub my toe is an expression of the pain itself. In the same way that ouch cannot be the type of thing which is true or false, that is also the case with moral propositions. And Ayer gets to this position, just for a bit of context to write about in 5 or 12 mark questions, because of one, his logical positivism. Ayer is a logical positivist. Basically, this movement is a type of radical empiricism stemming back from and inspired by Hume and Hume's fork, which aimed at eliminating all conversation in philosophy of things, all argument of things which are not analytically true, not relations of ideas, or matters of fact. So, not things which we can prove in the world empirically. Morality cannot be proved in the world empirically, and it also is not true by definition, and so it's not the type of thing which is realist. It's not the type of thing which is meaningful. And so, because it's not realist, it's not meaningful, it's got to be emotion. It's got to be something else. It's got to be anti-realist. And that's how we get to emotivism, which is anti-realist and non-cognitivist. And then the second reason why Ayer gets to his emotivism is because cognitivism fails. Naturalism, Ayer argues, commits the naturalistic fallacy that G. Moore points out, and non-naturalism is impossible to verify, because if it's a non-natural property, then that's not the type of thing which we can prove empirically, and so cognitivism fails, and so we have to use non-cognitivism, and we have to use anti-realism, because when it comes to morality, morality is not the type of thing which can be realist. And that is Ayer's emotivism. And finally, we will understand Hare's prescriptivism. Now, Hare argues that good, bad, right and wrong have it as their distinctive function either to commend or in some way guide choices or actions. That's what Hare says himself. So what that means is that instead of expressing emotions when we say murder is wrong, instead of saying boo murder, the purpose of moral language is to prescribe, is to change the way the world is, change the way people act. I'm either saying I like something, saying something is good and we should do more of it. Murder is good. I don't think that, but or I say murder is wrong. And so what I'm effectively saying is I'm giving an ought command not to murder. They are your 3 positions for anti-realism. In my next video, I will explain the criticisms of those theories.